Wow. Wow. Am I yelling? Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to yell. I just got horrified when I heard psychologist. This guy right here, Steven Pinker. Are too many people, y'all. And somebody in the chat said I was yelling. Oh my god. Okay. Steven Pinker. Thank God I'm writing all these names down, by the way.
Appears to be an accidental video, as it seems like they meant to take a picture instead. Now, as to why Steven Pinker, a well-known cognitive psychologist and public intellectual, would appear with Epstein is beyond me. His connections to Epstein could be academic or criminal, but it also...
Of course, he's having a TED Talk. You know why? Because the founder of TED Talk, what was his name? Richard Saul Borman was also in the files. This guy, he's a founder of TED Talk. He's also in the files, by the way, in the Epstein files. He's meeting up with Epstein. Right? No wonder. Yes. I don't know if you guys knew this. The founder of the TED Talks, yes, is in the files. He's meeting up with Epstein. So no wonder this other guy, Steven Pinker, who's with Epstein, is also on a TED Talk. You know who also had a TED Talk? Ghislaine Maxwell.
So could be both. We do know Epstein aggressively embedded himself in elite academic circles, especially Harvard.
That's Dershowitz, by the way. Alan Dershowitz. Also, another way that they're all connected, Alan Dershowitz was the professor of Jared Kushner. Jared and Josh Kushner. Alan Dershowitz was their professor. This is how interconnected everything is.
MIT, Santa Fe Institute, and the Edge Foundation, and Pink.
Who is that? Who is that? Right here? Who is that? Bill Gates. Remember how Bill Gates was saying that he wasn't really that connected to Epstein?
Was a part of this ecosystem, as we know that Epstein loved to present himself as a science philanthropist and a connector between donors and researchers, hosting private dinners with scientists, thinkers, and writers. But I guess we'll never know.
All right, excuse the poor audio. I'm recording this on a lav right now. I found something on Reddit, and he attached this photo with just identification and him, just proving it was him. Tell me why he's wearing the exact same shirt from the video. Am I tripping? Or is that not the exact same shirt? Anyways, I'll attach the thread below, but he answers a couple questions about, I thought
showing him to be playing with his phone the way an older video of Epstein, that's seemingly showing him to be playing with his phone the way an older person does when they don't understand how to record. It's just kind of a collage of him making strange faces.
Ew.
We have a video of Jeffrey Epstein with Jack Lang, the former French Minister of Education, and
Jacques Lane. The former what? What did he say?
We have a video of Jeffrey Epstein with Jack Lang, the former French Minister of Education, and the
former French Minister of Education. Former French Minister of Education. Of course they're gonna go. What did I tell you guys the other day? What did I tell you guys the other day? I told you guys, people who are predators always flock to jobs that gives them access to people they can prey on. So Jack Lang, crazy. This guy was the Minister of Education in France. Crazy. They're always around kids, exactly.
Current president of the Arab World Institute. He was also the former Minister of Culture twice. And as to why Epstein was associated with Jack Lang, we'll never know. However, we do know that Jack Lang himself moved in international arts, education, and diplomatic circles where Epstein, again, presented himself as a wealthy patron of culture. However, there is no evidence that Lang received money from Epstein or even visited his island or is even named in any victim testimony. Still, there they are. Buddy. There's this random footage.
Listen, I don't care if these people didn't go to that island. The fact that they were buddy with a P3DO makes them guilty. Because no sane person would be buddy with a P3DO. There's like no excuse at all. Absolutely no excuse. No sane person would tolerate or be buddy with a fucking P3DO. Okay? And if you tolerate that shit, yeah, well, what does that say about you?
Of what appears to be 3 young children singing, and I'm not sure who took this video, but what I also forgot to say at the beginning of the video is that for all this footage, we should assume that Jeffrey Epstein is the one taking the video, unless we hear a voice behind the camera otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of best to go with that rule of thumb, or assume that it's one
Oh
of
god,
his
these are 3
associates.
children, y'all.
There's footage of more victims, again, in Jeffrey Epstein's kitchen, and what appears to be surrounded by lots of baked goods.
Yo, I don't know why I just got emotional. I don't know why I just got emotional, yo. Oh my god. Yo, this is sick. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
There's video footage of Jeffrey Epstein confessing in prison that he was sexually assaulted.
Hi,
Oh, not my break being Liam Neeson. Help.
my name is Liam Neeson. You know, it's hard to explain what.
Okay, so Darren and I are sitting here. You can hear the echo. I'm pretending I'm talking to Darren. So, hi Darren. So Sarah and Nadia, are you guys having a good time? You can see I have a little sore on my face that I got from some black guy trying to kiss me. It's really disgusting. Oh, it's really, Anyway, I have pictures up on the wall. I had to borrow the Scotch tape to get the pictures on the wall. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
And we also have a full interview of Jeffrey Epstein with Steve Bannon, which I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's an hour, and you could find this on YouTube. And there's also helicopter footage of the arrest of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, one of the bigger videos I wanted to get into was the Prince Andrew footage. So there's around 1 second of what we see as Prince Andrew over a very young victim who is clearly a minor. And there's also another video without Prince Andrew, which is a short video of a young girl who's also clearly a minor, wearing a school uniform, and she appears in multiple videos, and it's very disturbing to say the least. However, what I found is that this footage matches exactly with the room that Prince Andrew was in with the other victim. This is also kind of one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. I have no idea what this room is, and I haven't gone through the thousands of photos yet to match.
Y'all, I don't think she's wearing a school uniform. It looks like she's wearing...
Their victim. This is also kind of the one.
Doesn't it look like she's wearing the Sailor Moon outfit? Sailor Moon outfit. Yeah, she's wearing a Sailor Moon outfit, right? Exactly. She's not wearing a uniform. It's not a uniform. I think she's wearing a Sailor Moon outfit. That's what she's wearing.
One of the reasons I wanted to make this video, I have no idea what this room is, and I haven't gone through the thousands of photos yet to match anything. I had to comb through hundreds.
It makes it even gross. Because if she were wearing a school uniform, that would already within itself be gross. That means she's going to his house after school. But the fact that she's wearing a Sailor Moon uniform means that somebody bought the uniform and made her wear it.
Of clips of footage, so if anyone recognizes it,
Exactly, kind of like cosplaying or role playing, basically.
Recognizes anything
I don't think she was in Japan though.
Throughout this video, it would be nice for you to point it out in the comment section, or even just speculate. There's around a 51-second video of a man recording a young woman playing with a dog, and the dog ends up humping this woman, but I don't know who this man is. He's shown at the very end of the footage. I'm not going to show the weird part, but here, you can look for yourself and figure out who this guy is. There's a 54-second video of what appears to be two women in an airport or a subway, some type of public transportation building. They seem to be talking. I'm assuming Jeffrey Epstein is the one recording again. And you can't really hear what they're saying. They're kind of whispering.
One from Shannon has arrived.
This girl right here looks young. And she does kind of look pregnant. Her shirt is like, her dress is like, yeah. She is rubbing her belly. She is rubbing her belly, yes.
There's a 1-second video of a woman in a car. It's really quick, but all you can hear is the person recording saying, just think about it in the background. I mean, it's obviously this person is trying to coerce this woman into doing something. I'm pretty sure it's Jeffrey recording again.
Just think about it.
Oh my God.
Just think about it.
There's around a 1-minute video of what looks to be people gathered in a room for a presentation, which is interesting because of the redactions.
Is it glitching for anyone? If it's glitching, just scroll out and scroll back in. Scroll out and scroll back in.
Here. So usually you're not going to see the redactions if there's a group of strangers. Our condition, that's a short of a young woman having her picture. A minute of this. There's a video of a young woman having her picture taken, either next to a mirror or a painting, and you can hear the guy behind the camera.
I hate how they're referring to them as young women when they're not young women. They're literally young girls.
Assuming it's Jeffrey Epstein saying, look a little happier. I've yet to see anything that resembles this room in any pictures. Again, I still haven't gone through the pictures yet. And after having to go through all the videos, I don't think I want to.
Look a little happier.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. These men are trash. Oh my God. Look a little happier? How are they gonna look a little happier when they're getting like filmed by fucking creeps?
Look a little happier.
There's around a 2-second video of Jeffrey Epstein.
Somebody said play it again. Hold on.
When to go through all the videos, I don't think I want to.
Look a little happier. Look a little happier.
There's around a
That was Epstein, wasn't it? That sounded like Epstein's voice.
second video of Jeffrey Epstein taking a video of a victim in front of his desk. You're going to see this desk a lot. This is his desk. There's several videos of Epstein filming victims while he's sitting in his chair. But in this one, this around 2 seconds, you could hear him say, "You could smile, it's okay."
You can smile, it's okay. You can smile, it's okay.
Again, another video of Epstein behind his desk, except there's a young lady beside him, and he is filming her. It's around 1 second. There's a video of a young woman in a hotel getting what appears to be room service in her bed. It's around 14 seconds, and they're speaking an unknown language, so if anyone could translate, that would be appreciated.
Ни хрена себе, кто что фоткает.
There's a 20-second video of just a beach. I think Jeffrey Epstein was interested in the waves, the weather. I don't know.
I noticed that too. A lot of these people have like childlike like mannerisms and appearances.
There's around a 34-second video of what appears to be a child in a store getting candy. I'm not sure the person
my
who's filming
God,
they're obviously a
y'all.
woman. You could
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm feeling a little extra, like, overwhelmed today. I'm trying to keep it professional because I want to get through these files. But I'm really feeling extra overwhelmed today. I don't know why. I don't know why.
hear their voice, but again, only victims are redacted in these videos, so sadly you have to assume that this little girl was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein.
Athena is getting all the flavors of all the jellies. Already got 4 bags, but she thought it wouldn't be enough, so she's getting some more. She's very serious about it. Olivia, how many jelly beans did we get? And then just a little part of what we bought.
There's around a 15-second video of a man in one of Jeffrey Epstein's properties signing a blow-up doll. I'm not sure who this man is. It's definitely not Jeffrey Epstein. But this is why you guys are here. Again, there's another video recorded by Jeffrey Epstein where he's behind his desk and one of his victims is sitting on the couch in front of Epstein's desk here. Again, there's a lot of videos that Epstein takes from this angle, and I can't play it with audio. There's copyrighted music. Just know that.
This almost feels like this is where he meets them. Like where he kind of interviews them on his desk, like at his
This
desk.
piece of footage was one of the more interesting ones to me. It just appears to be 17 seconds of a random cabin in the woods with absolutely no civilization in sight. It's very interesting. There is around an 18-second video of what appears to be a victim who is dancing for Jeffrey on camera.
Oh my God. That looks like a child and she's dancing for Jeffrey. She's literally dancing for Jeffrey. Oh my God. You can see her twirling around.
This is one of the more interesting ones. There is around a 42-second video, presumably taken by Jeffrey Epstein, of a rodeo. It's just a bull riding thing. It's completely random. Hey, it was in his desk, but it's just 2 minutes of that. He loved being in front of Epstein's house. There is a whole 2-minute video of 2 victims dancing in front of Epstein's desk. Like I said, he was a sicko for this. He loved making people dance in front of his desk, but it's just 2 minutes of that.
2 minutes of these 2 girls dancing in front of his
Personally, it
desk.
appears to be someone filming a blanket over somebody who is sleeping or lying down in a dark room. I think there's an individual under the blanket, is what I'm trying to say. It's that, yeah.
So there's somebody under a blanket who they're filming.
And yeah, 2 victims in front of his desk. This one is around a 3-minute video with 2 victims and they're dancing. And yeah.
Okay, 2 victims dancing again. They're dancing. Are they dancing together?
Okay, so this video is interesting. This appears to be a 42-second segment of somebody presenting a rack of clothes to other people. So remember, each redaction you see, that means each little black box is a person. So either this person presenting the clothes is a very tall adult, or they're standing and everyone is sitting or kneeling, or these are all very, very short individuals or children. Either way, they appear to be victims here. And there's no audio, it's completely silent.
But I feel like these videos are recorded in order to share with clients as well. Not only to share with clients, but for themselves as like a trophy. You know, they're collecting kids. Like this, you know, this sick trophy. You know, there's some like sick dudes who like after like a one-night stand or whatever it is, they like take a piece of the other person, like either like a clothing piece, an earring, like some kind of ticket, receipt, to kind of remind them, like a hair, underwear, kind of like a trophy basically, you know, like a souvenir. Exactly, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. It almost feels like, because I can't think of any other reason as to why he would record girls dancing in front of his table, unless he wanted them as a souvenir, or he wanted to advertise them to other clients to say like, hey, these are the kind of girls that I have, you know? So 2 reasons as to why I can think of it, like either as a trophy for himself, or to advertise it to his clients, or just both. Exactly. Because it's like there's so many videos from in front of his desk, like at his desk, where he's recording girls dancing.
14-second boat ride that was recorded by phone. Appears to be in some, I have no idea where this location is. I don't know. I would say Europe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been anywhere in the United States that looks like this. There's around a 35-second video of what appears to be 3 women dancing in a car. So assuming Jeffrey Epstein is the one recording or one of his accomplices, they're recording these 3 young ladies dancing while they're out. Who knows where they're going, but...
Again, dancing. He's obsessed with dancing. Dancing and art.
Thumbs dancing to give me... In this video, we see one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims dancing to Give Me Everything, but this appears to take place in the same room where his desk is. The wall just kind of looks familiar here.
Yes, he's into artwork too. He used to collect artwork, him and Julene.
Jeffrey Epstein recording from his usual spot behind his desk, and there is a victim that is dancing in front of him.
Again, dancing. Do you see her hands twirling? Do you see that right there? You see that?
This one is a longer video. We see a young woman who appears to be a teenager.
Stop saying woman, they're girls.
Or a child doing different poses with a flashlight. The audio was removed by the DOJ, of course, to protect the victim's identity.
That is a child. That's literally a child. Every parent who practically sold their child also needs to be held accountable. Every parent who sold their child also needs to be held accountable. I don't know what she's doing. You can't. Yeah, she's using, like, it looks like she's performing.
This is one of the videos you see of someone else recording Jeffrey Epstein. He appears here when is obviously one of his victims and lying on a couch. I assume they're outside by the pool. You see Jeffrey Epstein here being Jeffrey Epstein. We also have around a 50-second video of what appears to be a victim recording this time, and who I'm assuming is Epstein in an apartment, an empty apartment. You don't really get a good look on who the man is, and I'm not sure what this location is, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Exactly across where I live. Like I'm really from the other side of it.
You might be looking to your own neighbor.
Yeah.
Several young women at dinner.
Oh my God.
We also have a video of what appears to be several young women at dinner, or a little dinner party, or a restaurant, or condo. Not sure. It's just a lot of young ladies eating dinner or getting ready to eat dinner.
They're not young women. I hate this. I hate this. If you are a person who has started going through the Epstein files, who makes content about the Epstein files, stop calling them young women, young ladies. They're children. They're all minors. Okay? They're girls. Stop adultifying girls who were victimized by these animals. Like, I don't know why there's a need to adultify minors.
Here we have a 13-second video of what appears to be a victim and an older man who is not Jeffrey Epstein playing by a pool. And I'm not sure who this man is. I apologize for not knowing. I don't know. It's just, yeah. But that's what you guys are here to help for.
Oh my God.
Now we also have around a 37-minute video of what appears to be, I'm not sure if it's Epstein's Island, but it's definitely one of his properties. Yes, it's 37 minutes and there's a handful of different segments and a lot of it is censored.
I'm sorry. Somebody in the chat said nobody is helping, not even the courts. How do you know how many judges were in the files? Genuine question. If Epstein bragged about having a wide, array of people, right, that came to his island, how do you know how many judges or lawyers or prosecutors are not involved? This guy got the founder of TED Talks, okay? If this guy has the founder of TED Talks in these files, clearly, I think the better question to ask is who's not involved? I'm not gonna lie, at this point, for me, it's like all men until no men. Exactly, and judges, CPS workers, guardians, exactly, everybody. There were some men in the chat who I think became offended because I said that, because I said it's all men until it's no men. I have a quick question for you. If you have a child, would you hire a man to be the nanny for your child? Would you hire a man, a teenage boy, or an older man to be a nanny for your child? And if you felt some hesitation with that question, then don't you dare come to me and tell me that I'm being outrageous when I say all men until no men. Because you feeling that hesitation when I asked you that question proves to me that you yourself believe all men until no men.
Keep going. It's amazing what happens to you. Keep playing.
Tell us what you'll be learning today.
I'm learning some
Yay! Exactly. Brilliant.
I'm sorry, whoever is talking sounds like a child. Yes, whoever is talking sounds like a child.
mismatch.
This is Mismatch Teacher. She's mismatched today. Yes, but it's all within their own privacy. Like sneaks up on you. What? He'll sneaks up on you.
Can I just say also, I feel like society as a whole grooms people to like fall in love with the rich. You know? Like as a child, like especially if you're a young girl, you kind of romanticize the idea of potentially meeting like a prince or like a rich billionaire who just comes in and like sweeps you off your feet. You have books that kind of like have the main character being this clumsy average girl who falls in love with this random billionaire who also sweeps her off her feet. Like, as a society, I feel like you are groomed to romanticize billionaires and multimillionaires and be taken care of by these people. So I'm thinking in my mind, all of these girls who have been conditioned to romanticize rich people, like Cinderella, exactly. Like Cinderella as well, right? This idea of, you know, you're an average girl, but you're gonna find somebody who comes in and saves you from your ordinary life, and then you won't have to worry about anything anymore. And then what do you expect? These girls probably get overwhelmed when this guy is showing off his helicopter and he's showing off his island and he's showing off his cars and all of his money. And this is an older man, which, by the way, again, young girls are also conditioned to romanticize older men, right? So it's as if like they're being groomed to end up being victims of these rich older men. In my opinion, this is like just a natural progression of the patriarchy. Like, this is just like a natural progression of the patriarchy, right? In that, it grooms young girls to fall in love with these older men who would take care of them, who would financially take care of them, who would be like a father figure to them. And then on top of that, you as a return have to also infantilize yourselves, right? Even if you're an adult, you have to be hairless. You have to be as tiny and thin as possible. You're more desired if you sound very young. If you look young, you can't be aging as well. So you have to put tons of anti-aging creams on your face so you can keep yourself as childlike as possible. It's like you have to be the damsel in distress, exactly, Violet, right? So it's kind of like just grooming not only young girls to do this, but also adult women to continue on this pattern of having to, like society basically tells you have to infantilize yourself.
This girl wanted to ride.
I'm sorry, who wouldn't be impressed? How do you expect a young girl not to be shocked by this? Like, how do you expect a young girl seeing this amount of power that this guy has? He's literally taking them on an island that he probably owns, and he's showing them a helicopter show. How are these girls not going to be kind of overwhelmed and impressed and are going to think like, shit, this could be my life in the future, especially because he's specifically targeting vulnerable girls who come from impoverished communities who are either homeless. Like, this whole thing is just so fucking sick. It makes him feel special, exactly.
But it's right on the road.
And boys, 100%. These victims, yeah, 100%.
You remember what happened?
100%. I would never ever discredit the boys who were victims as well to this, right? 100%. All the victims. That's what I should say. I should say all the victims instead of saying these girls. This looks like I don't know what this is. A tunnel, yeah.
They don't have your kids, and is also basically a giant water feature.
I think this is just like a longer video.
This child in a pool.
Oh my god.
We also have 1 second of a video.
Why is he watching that child like that? I'm so sorry. Why is this man watching this child like this while she's in the pool? Like, oh my god.
Video of what appears to be a child with floaties on and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my god, the child has floaties on. The child has floaties on.
Watching this child in a pool. We also have around a 3-minute video of a basketball pickup game. So, like I said, only the victims are ever redacted, which is why these strangers are not. But it's I don't know, very interesting. But it also helps knowing that every single individual that is redacted is essentially a victim of Jeffrey Epstein's and or his accomplices.
This is horrifying. This is actually horrifying, y'all. Like,
we also have that video of what appears to be Epstein lounging next to a victim near the pool. It's just 2 seconds of this. We also have a video of around 40 seconds of what appears to be a ceremony or a concert or some type of seminar with several women, and they're all redacted, but there's no audio to go along with this, so it's very uncertain. Ecstasy flyer promoting orgasmic meditation, which is the practice.
oh my God. Radiant ecstasy. Hold on, I want to look this up. Radiant ecstasy. Orgasmic meditation trainer. I'm going to look this up in the files.
Of having an orgasm by meditating. We've talked about these types of groups before. The cult.
I'm sorry, the fact that like that is in there. Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much. W to my mods, by the way. W Anne, genuinely doing a lot of work.
Taste was actually an orgasmic meditation group, just for reference. But of course, they had absolutely no ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Gotta make sure I say that. Now, there's around a 4.5 minute video of Toby the Devil bit that's being performed by Rowan Atkinson, and I guess Jeffrey Epstein was just a fan here and wanted to save it. So we have it. It's in the files.
As the more perceptive of you've probably realized by now, this is hell. And I am the devil. Good evening. But you can call me Toby if you like. We try to keep things informal here, as well as infernal.
And yeah, it ends up being more the same, but since we've made it this far in the video, I want to talk to you about more of the footage. So like,
isn't it interesting that he has that about the devil? Because in that Steve Bannon clip, he called himself like the devil or something like that.
I said, I did link,
or he had a mirror
verified by the justice.gov link, so it's not like weird. But
another victim.
A lot more footage that I did not include. I just want to come off and say that there's a lot of videos of what appears to be Jeffrey Epstein's older women or younger women victims showing themselves off on camera. And I don't think I wanted to include those videos in these, and especially since some of them involve, you know, nudity, but not that you could see it since they're all redacted, but I didn't really see a point in that. Hitting a couple speaking English, but it's video. But I will say, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot that I cannot put in this video. But I will say the footage, it's bad. The people that deny he did this shit, but
okay. Okay. Let me look through some of the files that people sent. Hold on. So before I search that orgasmic thingy, let me look at some of the files that people sent. 48, 62, and I'll look at your the Discord, Anne, by the way, and then 016, 48, 52, 8, okay, 016, 48, 59, 6. So this is everything that I've typed down, by the way, that people sent me. 16, 48, 566. I don't know what these are. I'm gonna look at them with you guys. 16, 48, 720. There we go. 016, 48, 599. Okay, these are different data sets. Interesting. And then 016, 1648501. Okay, so I'm pretty sure these were all of them. And then let me look at the ones that Anne got sent. Oh, these are different ones, are they? Or are they the same ones? Okay, hold on. Let's just look it up. Okay, first one. Oh, there is no file for that one. So I don't know about that. Maybe it might be an older file. They've removed it. Because they've been removing a lot of stuff, y'all. So that could also be the case. Okay, this one is another file. Okay. Sorry, I'm like opening up all the files and then we'll check them one by one. Okay. These all seem to be videos. I hope the people who sent me these videos didn't send me videos that are too like inappropriate for the live, because I haven't checked these videos. So that's all I'm gonna say. These all seem to be videos from the files. And this is how you do the research, by the way, so you can do it on your own too, if you want to look up whatever you want to look up. This is how you do the research. I know it's very taxing, but I think it's worth it for the victims, right? 100% for the survivors. Okay, so you remove the PDF, you type in MP4. Oh God, is this a victim? Holy shit. What is she doing? Okay. I think they might be dancing. Oh my God, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I'm not watching that. 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 I'm not watching that part. Oh my God. I don't know who shared that with me. Okay, these seem disgusting. Who sent these? Who sent these? These seem like they're just... I don't even want to say it. Oh my God, do y'all see the teddy bear right there? Do y'all see the teddy bear right there? It's the kids' room. This is a kid's room. It's crazy to me that the DOJ asks you if you're older than 18. What the fuck was that? I don't want to watch these anymore. I actually do not want to watch these anymore. I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm so sorry. I can't. I don't want to watch this anymore. I actually do not want to watch this anymore. Bro, don't you fucking tell me to chill, bro. Fuck off. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, bro. Don't tell me to fucking chill, bro. I can't watch this anymore. No, I'm so sorry. I can't do this. This is too much. This is no. Like this is too much. I can't. We don't need to watch this. I feel like this is way too much. This is I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just close these. I'm not watching any of this. I'm not watching any of this. I'm not watching any of this. I'm not watching any of that. This is way too much. I'm not fucking showing this. Listen, I have a responsibility as a host of a live not to reproduce that violence. Okay? Like it's not even good. It's harmful for the victims. It's important to highlight the victims' stories, but it's not like this kind of low key, like the fact that people even want to watch this low key feels like trauma porn to me. Like there's like, and I don't know who's watching this, by the way. I really do not know even who the hell is watching this. Who's watching my live. I don't know how many people might be into that shit. This kind of low-key just feels like, it would feel like trauma porn. Because this isn't about highlighting the stories of the victims anymore. This is about reproducing the harm again. And I'm not going to participate in reproducing that harm. I'm just gonna, it shouldn't be normalized.
Hey everybody there.
Because I feel like it also actively desensitizes people. It desensitizes people. I did want to check out a thing that has been recommended to me. Which is Gmail. Yeah, I don't know who sent those. Whoever sent those, that's just a bit... I don't know. So somebody apparently created a, like a fake Gmail, but they called it a Jmail, and it's much more organized as well. And it makes it feel like you're Epstein, okay? Like if you, look at this. By the way, I wanted to clarify one thing, okay? I didn't show the videos, not because it's too heavy. Every single thing that we have been reading here has been too heavy. Okay? Like, there hasn't been a single live that I've hosted for over a week now that has not been heavy. Okay? The reason as to why I didn't want to show those videos is because some of them seemed to be showing inappropriate actions of minors. And at that point, that kind of crosses the boundary from raising awareness and highlighting the victims to reproducing the harm that those victims went through. And I don't want to have to reproduce that harm in front of over 700 people. I don't want to cross that boundary. Okay? So it's not about it being heavy. It's about trying to highlight the stories of the victims without causing more harm. There's already enough harm that has been done. I don't want to cause more harm or add on to the stories of the victims. Right? So this is the email that I was talking about, right? And it literally tells you, "Hi, Jeffrey." And so it basically is a whole email account to make it seem as if you are Jeffrey. It's like it's his personal email, right? And it's just called Jmail. And so somebody organized these much better than the DOJ. Sadly, it's a website. Exactly, it's a website made to look like an email. And let's say, for example, somebody said to look for eggs, right? So eggs is just talking about eggs. Wonderful fresh eggs, laid eggs. Oh, my sweet Jeffrey, I have some eggs. Jeffrey, so this is a person who's redacted. It says, Jeffreychka, I would never recognize you. I will search for my child pics here. TR7 2017. Oh, my sweet Jeffrey, I have some eggs. Smiley face. Why does this feel like code for something? Like the eggs feels like code for something. Because they say, oh my sweet Jeffrey, I have eggs, and then they have a smiley emoji. Bacon and eggs. Freeze my eggs. I have some eggs. See here. Had tea with redacted and spoke about eggs. I'm confused. Laid my eggs today. How are you doing? What is laid my eggs today? What the fuck is that? Are they talking about freezing their eggs? Pre-cooked steak, policing workers eating male eggs of other workers. So this is semen. Yeah. Fish again, and for girls, I'll have eggs and potato. Had tea, small countertop. just if you combine it with the bird talking to eggs, I think I might freeze my eggs this spring. Do you have any doc recommendations? Who's Nadia? Her last name is not on here. I don't think egg is slang for legs. I think egg is slang for ovaries, and then for like men, like semen. That's what it's getting. Yeah, eggs is not on the code list, by the way. The code list that I have, eggs is not on there. Francis is asking if you'd like steak and eggs for lunch. Okay, what is this? Salam, they were the cause. Who paid for the eggs for Al-Houthis to sit on? I think they're both very dismayed by the assassination and how it occurred. Wait, what? Is the world a safer place? How do you spend it? Caribbean waiting for you. Chat today. Touring the area in vain. Sad heart about your friends. The Saudis, MBS and Kushner combining their might to break the will of one of the oldest civilizations. 1,000 days. Salam. In St. Bath, did not tsunami destroy the villa? Quick to rebuild. Salam, shalom. Where is cousin brothers, the grandson of Jacob bin Abraham? Nice. In your house? Yep. Hope you're okay. What are they saying? This, my great cousin brother now. Who is Shahar Abdul Haq? Hold on. Why do I feel like this is going to be a person from the UAE? Who's this Shahar Abdul Haq? Hold on. A Yemeni billionaire. I did not expect that. He died in 2020. In 1963, Abdul Haq founded the company Shahar Trading, an enterprise involved in petroleum, soft drinks, tourism, and property. Abdul Haq was known as the king of sugar in Yemen, where he held a great deal of political influence. He was a personal friend of late President Ali Abdul Saleh. In spite of his prominent position in Yemeni society, Abdul Haq was media shy. Farouk Abdul Haq, the son of Shahar, was the main murder suspect in the rape and murder of Martine. Holy shit. Hold on. So his son was the main suspect in the unaliving and rape of a Norwegian woman. And he didn't get held accountable because his father helped him escape to Yemen. So Martine Vik Magnussen case involves the rape and unaliving of a 23-year-old Norwegian female business student. Her body was found hidden under rubble in the basement of a block of flats in the Great Portland Street, Marylebone, London on March 16, 2008. She died from compression to the neck, the cause of strangulation. Farouk Abdul Haq, the son of billionaire and one of Yemen's wealthiest men, is the only suspect. So the only suspect to the case was able to escape instead of standing trial. Because his billionaire of a father, per Epstein, by the way, mind you. Crazy. Huh. Actually insane. Let's see how many times he's in these emails. Let me write his name. Let's see how many times he's in these emails. 611 times he's in these emails. He attached something sent from iPhone. But you can't see what he attached. Crazy. Swift transfer. Why did he transfer $20,000? Hold on. Dear Shahid, good afternoon and hope you're well. Lord MacDonald is in Uganda. He's traveling and will let me know when he gets a phone in the hope that you and him can talk this afternoon. I'll be in touch. Paul Venables? Yes, this is a Gmail. Can we have a phone call about 1400 hours tomorrow? No, for the money has hit our account. Thanks so much for your assistance. Why is he saying the money? From Yemen to Beirut. He sent them $20,000, like pounds, sorry, 20,000 pounds. Why did this person send them 20,000 pounds? Who's Paul? Who's this person? I can't be this person. This is an actor, but it can't be this person. This person seems to be a practice manager team. Yeah, 20,000 is going to be nothing for this person, but why is he sending that? This guy is in the Epstein files so many times. Another thing I wanted to look up was massage. I'm scared, but oh my God. Would you like to try any of them? Karina Shuliak. By the way, Karina Shuliak is his last girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. And she also inherited like $150 million or something like that. So she inherited a hefty amount of money after Epstein, quote unquote, died. Right? Just wanted to say that. And she also was the person who was so they hired apparently a Thai masseuse. Do you see how many times massage is mentioned? FYI, Kathy had to reschedule her massage at Shelley's Sacred Space. And we all know what massage was code for, right? Best massage in Carmel. Massage was literally code for raping minors. I called last night. Swabs cannot be used in NYC, so I don't want to ship them from here. And Sarah said she was going to take yours. I just noticed you put your swabs in my... What swabs? In my envelope to take. Victor keeps telling me you want a refund and he's looking up my before pics now. What's up with that? P.S. I'm doing it with no nerve block. Why is he sending swabs? And who's Sarah? Says the masseuse is out of town all day tomorrow, so tomorrow will not work for her to come to the house. Is asking if 6 p.m. tonight would work for a massage at the house, or do we just keep the massage appointment you currently have scheduled for this Thursday at 5:30? Please advise. Leslie Groff is another of his... I'm in Tokyo. I just tried this full massage. Admission fee, 1,000 yen. First time only. Designation fee, 2,000. You see that? If you pick a girl. Massage. By the way, within the Epstein files, when I first started going through them, I was confused at what massage meant, by the way. And when they talk about massages, they mean time with, like, sex. That's what they mean. So, he's in Tokyo. Admission fee, 1,000 yen. I think yen is the currency in Tokyo. First time only. Designation fee, 2,000 if you pick a girl. Angie fee from 1,000 if you pick Angie girl. What is Angie girl? Oh my god, what is Angie girl? I do not know what Angie girl is. Here. Oh my god. Oh my god, y'all. Holy shit, bro. Angie Girl is a 1977 Japanese animated television series produced by Nippon Animation Ashi Production. Angie Islington is a young 12-year-old noble girl who loves to investigate cases. One day, she stumbles upon a case of robbery which involves the Queen of the United Kingdom's ring. This is in Japan, by the way. So I'm guessing that's what Angie Girl means. Special requesting fee. It says there, I think it's cosplay. Yes, it's probably cosplay. It says there, our ladies most highly popular among our customers, the hottest girls of our group. For qualifying lady, 3,000 yen will be charged for Angie SS fee, besides, or Angie SS fee. Besides requesting fee, our ladies highly popular among our customers. For qualifying lady, 2,000 yen will be charged for Angie fee, besides requesting fee. And our ladies popular, you see this? It says literally Angie SS, Angie SS, Angie S, Angie S, Angie Angie. What does the S and SS sound for? Like, what does the S and then SS sound for? Basic massage oh my god. Basic massage session. Testicles, hips, and nipple massage. Backs and legs, oil massage. Groin, lymphatic massage. Whole body massage with feather touch. Face sitting. Ejaculation by hand massage. 60 minutes. 16,000. Rendezvous, 14,000. 75 minutes. And it says minimum session of delivery to your residence will be to your residence. So they send people to your residence. This is like an escort business, basically. Full massage, we recommend testicles and hips and nipple massage, back and legs, oil massage, groin lymphatic massage, whole body massage with feather touch, face sitting, ejaculation by hand. Now, I don't know if these are just cosplaying. Okay, what does it say? S means special, superior. SS means super special. Okay, thank you, Iyad. So, what is an Angie super special? Because that is more expensive. And then Angie special, and then an Angie. right? Top tier, okay. Do you guys know who this person is, by the way? The guy who's saying that? You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at who this guy is. You'll actually be surprised who this guy is, because I know who he is. He's the CEO of DP World, which is the UAE-based company that is actively destroying Africa. This company, DP World, is buying up a lot of ports, especially in East Africa. Imagine. Right? So, as you can see, it's literally in the news. By the way, do you guys know what this is? What they're looking at? Epstein. So you know the Kaaba, right? Has anyone heard of the Kaaba? It's on a large map. So the Kaaba, which is a holy site for Muslims, I'll show you guys. Right? Which is in Mecca, is this thing, right? This. Okay? This is like the holy site for Muslims. It's found in Mecca. Okay? So you see this clothing over the Kaaba, right? So Muslims usually, when they do like Hajj, they go to Mecca and they kind of walk around the Kaaba, and they also touch the Kaaba, right? And Epstein had a piece of this clothing, which is called the kiswa, sent to him and made a carpet out of it. Okay? He made a carpet out of this this upper cloth that is on the Kaaba. Okay? And that is what they're standing over. That is what they're standing over. By the way, this woman who sent that to him, who had that sent to him, her name is Aziza. Hold on. Let's see if we can find her in the files. She is a UAE-based Saudi businesswoman. Her name is Aziza Al-Ahmadi. Hold on, where is it? Hold on. And she sent, like, I don't know why he did that. Is it because he wanted to have some type of power? Or it's just kind of like some kind of weird satisfaction that he had? This idea that he was standing on a piece of cloth that was so important to Muslims, maybe. Hold on. And the date is also within itself very important, by the way, okay? The date of this is very important as well. When she did that, I'll break this down with you guys, okay? Yes, it is a power superiority control. Where is the, hold on. Aziza Ahmadi millions. Hold on. She was talking to him about millions of Muslims. Oh, I wrote it wrong. Aziza Ahmadi millions. There we go. Hold on. This thing like takes a long time to load. Which I understand if it has like over 7,000 files. Hold on, where is it? Okay, again, millions of Muslims. Having a hard time finding. Basically, this woman is a UAE-based Saudi businesswoman. And she emails Epstein telling him, I hope you enjoy this delivery. Like millions of Muslims have touched this fabric, is what she tells him, right? He didn't pay anything. It was a gift. That's the crazy thing. This woman decided to gift him a piece of the Kaaba. And when she's doing that, she basically tells him, like, I hope you enjoy it. Millions of Muslims, by the way, touched this when they were praying. And all those different things, right? Why is this taking so long to search? And he tells her then he wants to make a carpet out of it. Now the date of it is very important though. Hold on. Hold on, let's see. Okay, this website is good, but the only problem is it loads really slowly. Hold on. Here is the file. Hold on. Here's the email. Where do I find this email? Sorry, I'm trying to get the original email. There we go. By the way, the black piece was touched by minimum. Okay. Got it. Got it, y'all. By the way, the black piece was touched. Got it. Okay, here's the email, right? So, this person called Abdullah Al-Mari, who is her assistant, I think, says, Dear Daphne, Daphne Wallace is also another assistant of Epstein, by the way. Daphne, I hope you're well. As per instruction of Aziza, we will ship some pieces of the Kaaba for the mosque, and the attached file from page 2 to 4 will be the actual pieces you will be receiving. An explanation of each was added. I would like to know before we ship it, is there any issues we'll be faced with the customs if we shipped to these stuff? Or shall we send with anyone who is going to US? Please advise. Please let me know if you need any further information. Sincerely, Abdullah. Now, the thing is, you have to understand, Saudi Arabia, what it does is, every year, right, it removes the kiswa, because it replaces the kiswa, and then it cuts it up and sends it to highly, highly important people. People who are scholars, whatever it is. And the reason as to why it does this is to kind of show this level of appreciation and level of value. So it doesn't send it to just anybody. Okay? It sends it to people who are highly respected people, right? So the crazy part now here is, though, Aziza Al-Ahmadi, who is a UAE-based Saudi businesswoman, somehow finds the need to send a piece of the Kaaba to Epstein, which means she's sending this in somehow corroboration with the Saudi government. You have to think about that, because she would not have gotten access to the Kaaba or the Kiswa without some type of government official approving it. It's impossible. It is impossible to get access to the Kiswa without some type of Saudi official approving of it, because of how protected Mecca and Medina are. You have to understand, okay? Mecca and Medina are the holiest sites in Islam. This is precisely what gives Saudi Arabia the political leverage over other countries. One of the main reasons as to why Saudi Arabia has a huge and massive leverage over other Muslim countries and other countries in the region is because it has the holiest sites of Islam in its country. And for that particular reason, the Saudi government highly puts Mecca and Medina under surveillance and under protection. So Aziza al-Ahmadi could not have gotten access to this cloth, kiswa, that is over the Kaaba without some type of approval from government officials, right? Allegedly is what I'm saying. Now this is the crazy part. So Aziza says this then. Here is the attachment. By the way, the black piece was touched by minimum 10 million Muslims of different denominations, Sunni, Shia, and others. They walk around the Kaaba 7 rounds, then everyone tries as much as they can to touch it, and they kept their prayers, wishes, tears, and hopes on this piece, hoping after all that all their prayers to be accepted. Regards, Aziza. Why is she mentioning this to Epstein? Why is she mentioning to Epstein that a lot of these people are putting their fears, their dreams, their powers into this piece of cloth? It almost seems again as a power play. Epstein, as an American man, of course, we know the West is inherently Islamophobic, okay? So Epstein, and this was after his arrest in 2008, right? Because he was charged with P3D-ophilia, right? So this is a power play to him. He gets off the idea of having some type of power over people, and to have a piece of such an important cloth like the kiswa that is so important to Muslims, that is a massive power play. And then to turn that into a rug to step on, that is another level of power play. Right? Yeah, nobody said that Muslims pray to that cloth, by the way. It's the kiswa is the covering of the Kaaba, right? So this is another power play. But this is even crazier. This is even crazier. Look when this email was written. This email was written March 22nd, 2017. What happened in 2017 in Saudi Arabia? Who knows what happened in 2017 in Saudi Arabia? No. That is the year that Mohammed bin Salman took power. Does anybody know how the current crown prince took power? The current crown prince of Saudi Arabia literally toppled the former crown prince. Okay? He toppled the former crown prince, and then he arrested hundreds of his family members. He basically initiated a coup. When Mohammed bin Salman, the current, like a lot of people do not know, the current crown prince of Saudi Arabia was not even in line to be in power. Right? He wasn't in line to be in power. How he got in power was that he literally toppled Mohammed bin Nayef, who was the actual crown prince. So when Aziza was sending this, the crown prince was Mohammed bin Zayed. And he decided to topple Mohammed bin Zayed, and he detained hundreds of his own family members and initiated a coup, and that is how he got in power. This man arrested his own mother. His mother, who disagreed with what he was doing and claimed that he was going against royal protocol. Yes, his mother claimed that he was going against royal protocol because what he did was out of the ordinary. It wasn't normal. Within Saudi Arabia, literally, they have very strict royal protocol. Who gets in power, who doesn't get in power. It's very strict. So the fact that he went against the royal protocol, his mother went against that. And when she did that, he detained his own mother. He had her arrested. Now, when did he initiate that coup? Okay. What does it say? June 2017. He initiated that coup just a couple of months after Aziza sent Jeffrey Epstein the piece of cloth. Now, there's two speculations that I have as to the connection between these two. Speculation 1. Either Mohammed bin Nayef helped Aziza give the cloth, and so Mohammed bin Salman decided to topple him. Or offering up the cloth was an initiation. That's the second speculation. Because the fact that he initiated a coup in Saudi Arabia and that was accepted by all the allies of Saudi Arabia and it wasn't condemned, was this the initiation? Was this his offering? I'll give you a piece of the kiswa if you accept the fact that I initiate the coup. Was that what it is? That's a genuine question I have to ask you, because this is too much of a coincidence. It's too much of a coincidence that in the same year in March, Jeffrey Epstein gets a piece of the kiswa, and in June, the coup happens. Am I going crazy, y'all? I kind of low-key feel like, do I have my tin hat, like the tin foil hat on? I don't know. But it's too much of a coincidence for me. It's too much of a coincidence for me. And this goes to show you how much power Epstein had. And not necessarily Epstein, but the person who Epstein worked for. That is the person who had the power. The person who had the power is the boss. And the fact that the boss could in any way get this type of initiation or peace offering and go along with Mohammed bin Salman's toppling of the Saudi government, To me, it's crazy. And another little thing. Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince who did this, is actually very, very close with Jared Kushner. Why does Jared Kushner keep showing up? First, Jared Kushner was a student of Alan Dershowitz, and then Jared Kushner was a friend of Mohammed bin Salman, the man who did the coup in Saudi Arabia. And then that also low-key kind of explains as to why when Mohammed bin Salman killed Khashoggi, that Saudi journalist, why the West did absolutely nothing to sanction the man. He didn't get held accountable for it. Kind of low-key makes sense, because if he is willing to offer up a piece of the kiswa, crazy. Yes, Kushner's father was pardoned of fraud by Trump, and then he was appointed the ambassador to France. Right? So this is something that I found very, very fascinating to me. By the way, allegedly, all of this is very, very alleged, mind you. I'm happy to be alive. But yes, happy to be alive. And it kind of low-key explains as to why Mohammed bin Salman wasn't held accountable for the fact that he toppled the Saudi crown prince, the fact that he killed and unalived Khashoggi. Kind of low-key makes sense as to why he wasn't held accountable if they're willing to offer up a piece of the Kaaba. Right? It's very interesting. And so now, how it started was this UAE businessman who was talking about the Tokyo massages is seen standing on a fragment of the kiswa. Do you guys see how all of this is connected? Do you know what I feel like? You know that one meme was the guy on like the wall, and he has like the red lining connecting everything? It just so much of this is so connected. When you understand the context of this particular photo. Exactly. Full circle. Once you understand the context of this photo, it even becomes much more horrifying. Right? And when you figure out that this guy is the CEO of DP World, the same company that is causing havoc in East Africa, especially in East Africa. The UAE is not only doing the G side in Sudan, okay, but it's literally causing havoc in Africa by buying up a lot of the ports. And this CEO of that port, of that company, DP World, look into that company. I beg you guys, okay? DP World Africa, okay? Look into this company, okay? This company is literally causing havoc. Look at this. Nigerian corruption trial and DP World scandal. DP World's $1 billion battle in Djibouti deepens. Like a lot of countries are actively going against DP World. And this man is sitting here in these files talking about fucking massages. Why was he in these files in the first place? It's crazy. And this is why I'm telling you guys, you need to think globally. Because these elites, these people who are the ultra rich, they're connected to one another. Look how connected they are to one another. It's a whole criminal enterprise. It's literally a whole criminal, like a global enterprise. Right? And that's why they cover for one another. You remember that article that report that I read about that report that I read about that could have been a UAE royal. You don't know. But a sheikh, a royal, like a sheikh, was able to give Trump their virgin daughter. Like, this stuff is cartoonishly evil. Oh, you guys didn't know about that? Hold on. Hold on. I'll show it to you guys. Give me a second. Where is it? Trump was practically bragging about it. Hold on. Trump. Victim of Trump. Here. No. Prosecution. Mar-a-Lago. Sorry. Mossad connection. Victim of Epstein. Cannibalism of babies. Affidavit. That's too many files, y'all. Prince Andrew unalived a girl. Journal. Sheikh gives his daughter. There we go. Here. It says here. Around 2004, Redacted was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein by Epstein's recruiter, Carolyn Daughtry, approximately in her 50s at Epstein's house on 71st Street. Redacted used to model, and Daughtry tried to recruit Redacted as one of Epstein's women, and Daughtry also asked Redacted who else she knew. Epstein tested Redacted when Daughtry introduced them because he wanted to show Redacted his top floor bathroom. While riding in the elevator, Redacted noticed the elevator ceiling reminded her of the Vatican, and Epstein claimed it was given to him from the Pope. The bathroom had a dome shape and there was a painting with Greek columns. As Redacted was looking at the painting, Epstein asked, "Do you see the pink in her pussy?" Epstein asked to see the color of Redacted's and went to unzip her pants, acting like a little boy seeing how far he could get. Redacted immediately stepped away, telling Epstein nothing was ever going to happen. Redacted became good friends with Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine, to discover that Ghislaine knew what Epstein was doing. One night, when Redacted went to a nightclub with Ghislaine in New York City, Ghislaine asked Todd Meister, whose father did business, to bring beautiful female models over to her. Ghislaine obtained the names of the models, and Ghislaine asked And Redacted asked Ghislaine why she would want girls for Epstein. Ghislaine responded, "One less blowjob for me." Redacted would go to Epstein's island, Little St. Jeffries, a lot with her ex-boyfriend, Joe, last name not obtained, who was good friends with Epstein. Redacted knew Epstein before Joe. Epstein and Ghislaine would act like a normal couple with Redacted and Joe while at the island. Sarah Ferguson would come to this is Prince Andrew's ex-wife, by the way, would come to the island sometimes and take photographs and made a photo album when Redacted was there once. Leon Black was visiting the island and Epstein showed a compound to Black and Redacted talking about how he wanted 7 massage rooms and another area for his hair. Women would swarm to Epstein because he had My Box limos. One day, Epstein picked up Redacted, talking about going furniture shopping and riding in his limo. Epstein had Redacted leave her purse inside the limo, and when it returned, Redacted could tell someone had gone through her purse. Epstein asked Redacted to go to Moscow at one point, asking for her social security account number and her passport information. At the same time, Epstein asked if Redacted had any kind of criminal history, which she did not. Yes, it's crazy that Chris Tucker was in here, right? Redacted saw Epstein and Donald Trump together a lot, including at the movies. Trump was always trying to impress Epstein. This is exactly why I think Trump is not the boss, by the way. This is the precise reason why I think Trump is not the boss. Why would a boss want to impress their employee? Why would the boss want to impress the employee? It just doesn't make sense to me, right? There was an incident after September 11, 2001. Very interesting date, by the way. Epstein, Trump, Ghislaine, Joe. Who is Joe? And Redacted were going to Palm Beach, Florida for the weekend. Redacted was waiting on the plane for others, reading magazines, overhearing Epstein and Trump's conversation. Redacted overheard Trump talking about how he just came from visiting a country, possibly Israel. I don't think it's Israel because they're talking about shiu, like sheikhs. There are no sheikhs in Israel. Possibly Israel, where they have sheikhs, claiming the sheikh gave his virgin daughter to him. See? So a sheikh gave their virgin daughter to Trump. Epstein responded, "Oh, I love that. I love when that happens. They're so different, the young ones." Epstein and Trump discussed how the younger women have finer hair. When arriving at Epstein's house, he went to hug Redacted, and she left before Joe was able to arrive because she was disturbed from the conversation she overheard. Redacted grabbed her bags to leave, and as she was leaving, she saw a girl in the bathroom closet come out partially naked and heard girls laughing. That is when Redacted realized what occurred when Ghislaine wasn't around because she wasn't there yet. Epstein was buddy-buddy, always talking about setting Redacted up with a good guy. Epstein had 2 types of women he would keep around, including young women he would pay and the high-end girlfriends. Right? So that's why it's very interesting that he has these people. Well, I'm not saying it's Joe Biden or not. I'm not too sure, by the way. I'm just saying, who is Joe? Thank you for the gifts, by the way, everybody. Again, hi, redacted. Jeffrey says tomorrow's okay. What time is good for you? Hi, Leslie. I have some appointments later, but I would be happy to work something out for him tomorrow. I can try to move some things around if today is the only day he can do a massage. You can call me if that's easier for you. Thanks. Can you let me know as soon as possible? There's just so much stuff about massages, by the way. So much stuff about massages. What about young girls? How is this emailed? Okay. So Epstein says, Kathy thought the piece is being lauded as great investigative journalism. So does your suggested PR group have the better contacts to place a story on why it's not? However, to your point, to what end? Michael Wolff says, this thing is model journalism is one more element that could give it legs, so another danger. I don't think it's a question of directly debunking this that's going against virtue itself. What I'd like to do is game out everything, creating a structure for thinking this through, definitely not a piecemeal response, figure out where we want to be and where we can reasonably get and work. I don't know how they type, these people. I just wanted to say that. Like when they type, nothing makes sense. Wait, who's Steve Young? Do you think we highlight that at the end of the day, it was prostitution, sex for money, a state crime with state laws? Huh. So he's trying to get out of it. By the way, this was in December 1, 2018. Right? This is December 1, 2018. And basically Epstein is panicking about this. And that's why he's trying to find an excuse, a way to frame it. Which is why language is always important, by the way. Because if language wasn't important, this guy wouldn't have been arguing with Michael Wolff by talking about the framing and the narrative of it. And then Michael Wolff says, at this point, I don't think you can go legalistic. They've won the high ground. Young, vulnerable, poor girls. Right? And Epstein says, I'm aware. I'm thinking, what would Trump do? Huh? Hold up. Huh? So even Epstein recognizes? No. Trump is not the boss. Trump is not the boss, y'all. Epstein is recognizing that Trump knows how to find his way out of these situations. That's what's happening here. Basically, because Trump has a history of getting sued and accused of SA, it's his expertise to get out of it, to respond to it, right? That's why he's saying, I'm aware, because wait, hold on, who's Michael Wolff again? I know that name. Who is Michael Wolff again? Michael Wolff is an American journalist and media consultant, as well as a columnist and contributor to USA Today, The Hollywood Reporter. So you mean to tell me that this man was helping a P3DO get away with P3DOphilia? Is that what you're telling me? The man who wrote Fire and Fury. Hold on. Hold on. The man who wrote Fire and Fury. So you mean to tell me this guy pretended to be a good guy who cared about exposing Trump, but he was there aiding and abetting a P3DO? Is what you're telling me. The wolf in sheep's clothing. And he's literally helping him. So he's like, I'm aware. I'm thinking, what would Trump do? And then Michael Wolff says he never tries to explain. He denies, blames media, denigrates someone else. Claims are ludicrous and self-serving. Media is working with the other side's lawyers. This is all about Donald Trump. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I started working for this luxury hair company, and the girls on my team are all really hot and young, early 20s. I don't know what to say though. Advice? Then Epstein says, send photos? Oh my God. Hi Jeffrey, are you still in Paris? Is Woody going to visit Woody Allen? Woody Allen? Is that the Woody they're talking about? Huh. Hi, Jeffrey. Are you still in Paris? Is Woody going to visit you there? If so, maybe my niece, our new best drama director in Sweden, and actress Alma, could come visit you. Here is charming young Hannah, who has worked as PA, but also studies at Stockholm School of Economics. If you're still looking for a person to take Sarah's place, here you should indicate requirements and profiles so I can help recruit her. In any event, Ambassador Lisa is going to Paris in a week. Still think you two should spend some time. I'm so sorry. Is she selling off her niece? Is that what I just understood? This is, by the way, this email was sent in 2013. So that is after he got convicted and he was a sex offender. So you mean to tell me that she's offering up her niece to a man who's a sex offender and telling him you two should spend some time? Barbara E. Benham. Who is this? She's a Swedish-American businesswoman who has become renowned for her valuable networks and her successful business-generating activities. This is what I mean. The people who sell off their children or their nieces or any vulnerable person around them, they need to be held accountable. Who's this? Jeffrey writes best. Redacted says, I told you. Kerr Dick TR says, she's my fan. I'm already looking for an agent for her in Paris. She's just 18. Plus, I have 5 phenomenal young generation girls. We'll talk in a few months about them. All 5 great. And Jeffrey says, I'll be in Paris the 15th. 15th only, exact dates, whole week, amazing. I should be working in Europe too. Let me check if she got Skype. Imagine all of these people involved and only 2 people getting prosecuted. Hold on. Is this who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? This is Woody Allen's wife, the stepdaughter that he married. Why is she messaging? So this is this not the stepdaughter, sorry, the adopted daughter. The one that Woody Allen adopted. So Epstein sends her an email telling her, any luck on hair and makeup person? I really think it should be Hollywood and not Martha Stewart. Please note. Redacted. Then she says, I'm still working on it. How many people do you want to come? How many girls are you planning to have there? I said around 5 or so, all in their young 20s. Smiley face. Then he says, thank God. Then she says, call me back. I want you to be happy. What does she mean by I want you to be happy? I'm not gonna lie, these files are really disturbing. What does it say? I I think it would be a lot of fun for everyone if we were to have the deli at the Institute and Gnome would interact with young AI guys and girls. Gnome, by the way, is Noam Chomsky. Yeah. Noam Chomsky is in these files. And then Valeria Chomsky says, "Hi, Jeffrey. I think Noam is getting in one of those periods of overdoing, what usually results in very bad colds that he hasn't had for the last 3 years, not coincidentally, since I came and have been forcing him to slow down just a little, but the last weeks have been too intense. On Friday, he'll be coming for a solid day of appointments, and I'm afraid it can be too exhausting for him. It would be better to have a more relaxing time with you and Martin and leave this discussion for another occasion. I know I can share my concerns with you, Valeria." He says, "You can always share with me, of course. What I'm hoping to do is get some young, energetic people to come on board your Institute project. It takes internet expertise as he's able to excite them. I can pay and you can follow through. I'll follow your lead. Tell me what you suggest. Does SAT work? Should I come alone Friday or would you prefer to wait until a few weeks from now? Hope you don't get a cold." That was in 2015, by the way. That was in 2015, by the way. Right? So that was long after Epstein had already been convicted. Convicted a sex offender. It's always about a project. What is the beef jerky thing? People told me to look up beef jerky. Beef jerky. What the hell? Why is he obsessed with beef jerky? Hi. Jeffrey asked if that you make some beef jerky for him, please. Please confirm. Thank you. Hi. Would it be possible for you to make another batch of beef jerky for Jeffrey? He's running out. Well, what the hell? Beef jerky is still drying, about another hour's toast till finish. What's the best to get it to you? You can leave it at the doormat. Hi, there's one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it, and also see his more at her place. Please get it from her as well and bring it all with you. I suppose it needs to be in a cold insulated bag, right? Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it. Jerky class, anyone? He'll also bring you a taste of his new jerky recipe from the restaurant and sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called... Do you see the name of that restaurant, y'all? Do you see the name of that restaurant? Why is the name of that restaurant? The people who can't see. Why is this the name of that restaurant? I'm so sorry, I don't trust any of these people. Why is the name of the restaurant Cannibal? Was the movie Fresh based on true story? Y'all? Now I'm beginning to wonder. Have y'all ever watched the film Fresh? Have y'all ever watched the film Fresh? That movie where this guy kidnaps girls and then, hold on, why isn't this charging? Give me a second. Where he kidnaps girls and then he sells parts of their bodies to like rich people, but some parts of it is like jerky. Hold on. This one. This is the film. It's called Fresh. It's on Hulu. Right? This guy like sells, I know the movie is fictional, bro. Okay? I know it's fictional. But I'm wondering, because we know the shit that we saw in the film Hostel is real. Okay? In this files, we saw people talking about buying girls or escorts just to unalive them and just to torture them. And now when I'm listening to this stuff, I'm wondering if there was also an element of where they were actively selling human flesh. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. By the way, I didn't mean to come at you like that. Yeah, sorry. I'm just kind of like very, very anxious at this whole thing. So beef jerky and steak, he has time at 3 p.m. tomorrow if this is okay for you. At a restaurant called Cannibal and Cooks. Hold on. I mean, we could simply find it, right? Cannibal and Cooks. Cannibal Cooks restaurant does not exist. This doesn't exist. Even if it's just Cannibal restaurant. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. This person just flat out lied. There is no restaurant called Cannibal. So what is it code for? Is beef jerky code for something? Jeff been meaning to ask, how did you like the beef jerky? Steven Hansen. Is beef jerky code? Hi Steve, on Jeffrey's Island is requesting the latest beef jerky recipe as Jeffrey Epstein has asked her to try and make some. He says the last batch that you made tasted different. I think he likes it as he would like her to attempt it. Would it be possible to forward us the recipe? Thank you. Beef jerky? Question mark? Somebody said the initials of beef jerky is BJ. As well. But I don't know what beef jerky is code for. It just, to me, it's very odd that they have a fascination. Hello, Linda. Just reconfirming that you're coming to stay in apartment January the 13th to 19th. You will stay in apartment 11B. The code is 7931. Apartments are located at 301 East 66th Street at the corner of 2nd Avenue. We will leave a welcome letter for you with the doorman. Did you know your approximate arrival and departure time? Hi, Linda. Jeffrey has given up cookies, but he does thank you for the thought. As for the groceries, I'll work on finding someone to do the shopping for you. Sue will be out of town starting tomorrow. Not really sure. He has been very into protein. I'm not sure, but I would think he would try it. He has been loving beef jerky. So same sort of thing, but maybe better and leaner. Thanks, Leslie. I'll get in around 6 p.m. and we'll leave by 4 p.m. If it's possible to get groceries, I'd love the following. Either he's very obsessed with beef jerky, or I don't know. You get the beef jerky yet? Where do you store the jerky? I'm thinking beef jerky is code for something, the same way massage was code for something. I want to search up cannibalism. What is this? Huh. Are these documentaries? What is this? The moral side of murder, the case for cannibalism. The case for cannibalism. Why does he have this? Why the fuck does he have this? What is this? Hungry R is after T on the keyboard. Was it Cockney hate, African ain't, or just a cannibal? AR. I'll be there 6th to 9th, always happy to see you. Are you in New York? I return to Paris in 3 weeks. If you have any geopolitical interest, Ehud Bank coming to debrief. Y'all know who Ehud Barak is? What does that say up there? The former Prime Minister of Israel. He's the former Prime Minister of Israel. And he's coming to brief Epstein. What could the former Prime Minister of Israel potentially brief Epstein on? I know one company out of Brooklyn. Wait, what is this? What is this? Here's a quote from one of the files from one of his cooks. Jeffrey Epstein is interested in beef and turkey jerkies. I know one company out of Brooklyn that does a great grass-fed a great grass-fed product. It's like high-end jerky. Great stuff. I plan on having that here when he arrives, as well as some I'll be making. Again, we can purchase it, but to make our own is much nicer because we can make it taste however he would like, smoky or sweet, or even have some Asian notes to it, ... Rich is working on accounts for Costco and Butcher today. We placed orders for some gear for the kitchens today, pasta machine to make fresh pastas, dehydrator for dried fruit, and house-made jerkies. They also sent it to the lab to test for nutrition qualities, because if it's your main food, you need to know if you're getting all the nutrients. I don't know what beef jerkies is, Christy. I think I'll have to, I don't know if it's human meat. Somebody is saying that it could be really beef jerky. It could be human meat. I don't know, but it is. See, I thought it was just regular beef jerky. I think what really caught my eye is this one. He's working at a restaurant called Cannibal and Cooks. That felt a bit weird to me, him saying that. And then also, I used to think massage, was just like regular massages until I found out that it was actually code for something. So, I don't know, in my opinion. It's just a bit weird to me though. Because beef jerky shows up way too much times. Eggs too, like eggs for example, right? Eggs also seems like a normal word, but in the files they were talking about male eggs and yada yada yada. Massage is code for usually like sex with minors. So when Epstein is booked for a massage appointment, a lot of times, allegedly, it was usually with a girl who was a minor. Who used to do the massages for him. No, of course, not just minors, but a lot of times, yeah. Another code word is pizza that I heard about. Like this, see? Look at this. She looks pregnant. And then he says, you mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza. Right? Pizza is also code. Yeah, he mailed that shit to himself for some reason. Hello, Bobby. Hope you have been having a great time with you, honey. Reconfirming you'll both come to see Jeffrey at 4 p.m. today. Do you know if you'll be leaving tomorrow or June the 1st? Thanks, Leslie. Leaving tomorrow morning early, and yes, of course, we will be there at 4. You need a pizza or anything? Haha, no, I don't need a pizza, but thank you for offering. And then winky eye emoji. See you at 4 p.m. and thanks on the apartment info. This is what I mean. buy pizza. It just so much pizza talk. Hello, Bobby. Oh, you need a pizza or anything? Haha, no, I don't need a pizza, but thank you for offering. I'm sorry, the DOJ almost feels like, number one, they want to overwhelm you with this information, and that's why it's like not even well organized. And number two, they don't even help you with the codes. I would like to talk to you today between 2:30 and 9 p.m. You know where I'll be, thanks. Now what? I didn't do it. Here's my joke of the day. What does a gynecologist and a pizza boy have in common? They can smell it, but they can't take it. Who references it, Anne? Are you talking about like in the Epstein files? I thought Yummy was a little too new for that. No, I've read about that already. Jeffrey says, I tried to call. The person redacted says, Jim. Jeffrey says, I have the picture next to the jet and the latest one side by side. It doesn't look like the same person. You don't have to change your name. You're changed your person. And then the person says, what does that mean? I know you like the jet picture. Is the last one bad? Their hair was a clip-on. Then Jeffrey says, that sounds like the Dome Herrera response to his friend that offers advice but starts, look, I'm not a doctor, but I think you. Response, really, you're not a doctor. I thought when I went out to get some pizza, you enrolled and completed your medical education. I didn't think your hair had grown that fast. Again, how does it take him so long to get pizza for that person to get a medical education? No, I thought you may have assumed I got real hair extensions, which I'm considering now after seeing how good the clip-on looked. What do you think? Jeffrey, come now if you're free. Redacted. Just woke up from a little nap. See you in 30. Jeffrey, great. And then that person says, great meal. Always great hanging out. Meals always make my day. And we have to do the pizza thing next time. Wish I could have called you about Montreal. Fuck. Next year, I'll take care of it. Which email said pictures of my baby? I'm confused. I don't see it. Jeffrey, here's a deck about my designer baby project. I've talked with Austin again, and we have a series of questions about how serious you are about wanting this and what the ground rules are for me even exploring this with you and getting to the next steps. Most of these questions are around your requirements for secrecy and privacy, specifically regarding reputational risk and also any financial involvement. I think there would also need to be some understanding about goals and feasibility of different results. I think that one of this could be done is under the banner of my designer babies project, since the other deliverable is similar and shares so many of the same procedures and lab requirements. This might offer a sufficient level of deniability. I propose another call on Monday in the afternoon to discuss these issues. Please propose a time. Thank you, Brian. Designer babies. Holy shit. How about Wednesday, August the 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern? Sounds like you could be the first investor as long as absolute anonymity is kept. I've always envisioned there would be anonymity requirements about babies. If we can't publicly identify who these are or their parents or benefactors. It would brand the baby as essentially and sadly a freak for life in the media. So I had always assumed the investor would need absolute anonymity for these kinds of products, so the financial structure needs to be designed with these details in mind. Let's discuss these issues in early August when you're back in the game. Austin has been advising me on this, and it's an open question whether he'll be involved in designer babies in terms of his personal interest. Happy to do our next call with or without him. Noticed he was CC'd. Designer babies is like eugenics, by the way. It's when you kind of like, yeah. Designer babies is crazy. Just put this together. New genetic editing deck. What is genetic editing deck? And then it says /Brian/designer babies deck. I feel an obligation to be balanced. Noted biologist comes to defense of gene editing babies. What the fuck is happening? Yay, soon we will have babies. What the More genetic editing. Good morning, I'm around until 11 a.m. And then Jeffrey says, I like implant embryo. Wait 9 months, C24, great ending. I don't know if I want to click on these Google Docs. They're not there anymore. Oh, this was the one that was really creepy. Do you want veggie cream cheese tomorrow? I would go look for it now. There are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. No, I didn't see his obsession with 23andMe. And Make some babies first and then have sweet dreams. Good morning, young man, ready to go. Babies in Uzbekistan. Vilnius, Tallinn, Riga. Where first? Video, did Andrew say anything? He never came. Prince Andrew? These people have a weird obsession with babies, by the way. Like a very weird obsession with babies. And the crazy part is the reason as to why it's even creepier is because I know that like cannibalization of babies has happened. I read a really cool paper about the biology behind why moms' immune systems don't abort babies. I think they found the protein or one of them that does the tricking. It reminded me of our cryptography and sneakiness discussions. Let me see if I can get it online and send it to you. See what I mean? They're obsessed with babies. I forgot to tell you, I went to see the Pope in Rome on Sunday while he was giving a speech. Oh, this one I read. Okay, it was about the Solomon, the biblical story. Designer babies. I'm back. Attached is a doc you requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the designer baby. Huh? Hold on. Do you guys see this word that I highlighted? That phrase that I highlighted? Attached is a doc requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the designer baby and human. There we go. What did that say? No, it won't show because this is on the website. Who is Brian Bishop? This guy seems to be a fucking creep. This can't be him. Brian Bishop is a doctor. Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein had a bizarre obsession with improving human DNA, and he was emailing with top scientists about it. Epstein harbored a myriad of racist beliefs, including the idea that black people's genetics made them less intelligent. In 2016, Epstein emailed German cognitive scientist and then MIT professor Joshua Bach. Hold on. What is this? Who is this person? Let's see this person. Oh my fucking God. 3,000 emails. Hold on, it's looking for the emails. Why does it take so long to load? So apparently this Joshua Bach is a scientist, and Epstein messaged him multiple times. And he also met him too. He's a German. What did it say here? In 2016, Epstein emailed German cognitive scientist and then MIT professor Joshua Bach, indicating that he was interested in the idea of genetically modifying black people to make them smarter. The Telegraph found Bach had received a roughly $400,000 donation from Epstein. In a 2016 email exchange with leftist thinker Noam Chomsky, Epstein claimed that the test score gap amongst African Americans is well documented and was adamant that a set of genes used for working memory could be found and adjusted. Oh God, here's the email. Okay. The fact that Noam Chomsky is even entertaining this, it's crazy. So he says, thank you both for tonight. Ireland trip, my plane will pick you up. Noam Chomsky was on the island? I thought Noam Chomsky was just emailing him. No. Noam Chomsky was on the island. It says here, thank you both for tonight. Our re-island trip, my plan will pick you up in Boston and return you when you like. Then Noam says, we both really enjoyed the evening immensely and can't tell you how tempting the invitation is. Have to somehow work out the schedule. Hope you beat the snow without any problem. He thinks the invitation to the island is tempting. And then he says, Jeffrey says, Caribbean as you like the expression, if not now. On a different note, you have encouraged me to look at data. No holds barred, mortgages, inequalities, opportunities. I have seen some things through your eyes, and for that I'm grateful. The test score gap amongst African Americans is well documented. 20 years of testing, many countries. James Watson had some of his private views made public and hence his dismissal from society. He told me that after one sentence he became a UN person. Make things better might require accepting some uncomfortable facts. You told me that. And then Noam Chomsky says, wish we could toss the cares of the world, the cares and demands of the world. First question is whether the facts have any significance. Second is, what is the explanation? Answer to the first is that they don't. They have no scientific interest and they tell us nothing about how to deal with Tom Jones, who is he, and not the mean of some group to which we assign him. As for explanation, the likelihood, I think, is what I outlined. Say, the likely different outcomes for a kid like me and a counterpart in a family in Philly that is part of a group that for 400 years had a chance for about 2 or 3 decades to enter mainstream society, and then with constant legacy of miserable racism, there were a few families that escaped the legacy, Thurgood Marshall, Condoleezza Rice, etc. But it's not surprising under the circumstances that few did, and simply as a matter of biology, The capacities involved are so deeply embedded that it would be quite surprising if an evolutionary brief period that has produced only superficial changes would have affected them. But in any event, I don't see the importance, except on ugly assumption, any more than it would be important to show that tall people with blue eyes on average do better or worse in answering questions on tests, but for later discussion. Then Epstein says, I'm aware of the potential for abuse. However, imagine that a set of genes used for working memory like the one for Tay-Sachs could be found and adjusted. Not looking seems cruel. And then Noam says, almost inconceivable, but if it could be done, I think there would be a far more important use, like changing the genes for dedicated savagery and lack of concern for the welfare or even security of the population on the part of that sector of educated elite that reaches positions of power. Very ironic that he's saying these things while actively talking to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein also wanted to invest in research pursuing genetically modifying embryos to produce children with desirable traits. The Telegraph also spotted his seriously entertained the idea in 2018 email exchange. Subject, designer babies, with crypto entrepreneur Brian Bishop, who asked Epstein about securing funding. I have no issue with investing, Epstein reported. As it happened, Epstein wanted children of his own and lots of them. The 2019 NYT reporting details how Epstein had planned to seed the human race with his DNA by impregnating women at his 33,000 square foot ranch in New Mexico, and discussed the idea with multiple top scientists who chose to remain anonymous. One of the scientists allegedly claimed that Epstein wanted to impregnate 20 women at a time. Epstein also had a creepy obsession with using genetics to improve women's sex drives. He repeatedly discussed the idea with former Stanford human biology professor Nathan Wolfe in email exchanges between 2008 and 2013, in which they mused over the possibility of developing a female Viagra. Wolfe, perhaps even more so than Epstein, was serious about making it happen. In May 2013, he wrote to Epstein enthusing that their horny virus hypothesis could be correct. He claimed that he'd come up with a study directing linked sexual behavior and microbial diversity, and asked for Epstein's thoughts about how his funding on this hypothesis. I think it hits the sweet spot of what we've been thinking about, so to speak, Wolfe added. Another scientist that Epstein confided with was Martin Novak, a math and biology professor at Harvard University. Novak was known for his work on using mathematics to describe the evolution of the human language and how certain human behaviors emerged. In light of everything above, it's not hard to see why Epstein took a strong interest in his work. In 2003, the billionaire donated $30 million to Harvard to support Novak's research. Novak's connection to Epstein is well documented, but the newly released documents additionally revealed an ominous-sounding email to Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's partner and alleged partner in crime. I'm so very sorry I caused you so much worry and that I spoiled this day. I'm so happy that I did not kill anybody, he wrote in a 2002 email. My perspective of life has changed somehow. In 2014 email, Epstein sent a cryptic email to Novak stating, our spy was captured after completing her mission. Novak responded, did you torture her? Why are none of these people being investigated? That's what I want to know. Oh, did you guys see this? Epstein saying, where are you? Are you okay? Oh, sorry. There we go. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. And the person says, I'm in China. I'll be in the US second week of May. So he was basically sent torture video. Priority is finding the 20 meter with Jocelyn. First step to torture. Oh my So Epstein writes an email. He says, what would you like me to do with your friend? Tancredi Marcello says, hit on her. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, do you want me to try to do her or just torture her? And then Tancredi says, she wrote me on a BlackBerry Messenger that you are very nice and clever and sent a smiley face. She has excellent oral skills. Jeffrey says, understood, thanks. I wrote her that she is generally unpolite and not thankful. Just like that, she should be more thankful in life. Enjoy. I'm sorry. Why are we glossing over the fact that he said, do you want me to try to do her or just torture her? One, Madonna on the way. Two, instead of torture photo, maybe portrait of me instead. Presentation of Trumpville. This is... I don't know. This is a lot, y'all. This is actually a lot. This is actually so much. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna end it here for today. I'm gonna end it here for today. This is too much for me. I think with the videos and with I think this is for today. This is enough. For today, this is enough. It's too much. I can't. I have a really bad headache now. So, thank you guys for, do you guys want me to end with Eritrean music? I can do that again if you guys want your mind off of it. But, if you want to support me, that would be awesome. You can definitely give me a follow. You can also subscribe. I will be going back live again at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. German time. If my pay links are in the bio too, by the way. If you want my Cash App, you can definitely DM me as well for the Cash App. And thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting. It makes it much more easier. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of feels like a group project to kind of go through all of this together instead of going through it individually. Because when I'm overwhelmed, at least like I'm not being overwhelmed on my own, but instead we are able to support one another through this and discuss it together too, right? So for that reason, I think it's actually insanely great, in my opinion, that we're even doing this together. Yes, I am on tomorrow. I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm literally going to be on every day talking about this topic until we get done with them. Okay? Until we get done with them. In any way. So, yes, I will be on, definitely, 100%. There was another file that I found, by the way, where they were talking about toppling the British government. There was also another file that I found, by the way, where they were talking about the need for Eritrea and Ethiopia to be one country. And the crazy part is the fact that Ethiopia's that like now yesterday released a statement semi declaring war on Eritrea. So it's fascinating how much power these people have. Yes, I already started loading it up to YouTube, by the way. They're long, but they're already loading onto YouTube. I'm talking about the people who are in the files, like Epstein and his friends. It was Steve Bannon specifically talking about it with a person who's redacted. I don't know who the other person is who he's talking to, but it was Steve Bannon specifically. Sudan? Yeah. Y'all want to see how many files are on Sudan? Hold on. This is funny, actually. Well, it's not funny, but... Y'all see that? There are 440 results on Sudan. These people were talking a lot about it, by the way. 48 results on Eritrea. So there's a lot of files on all of these things, right? So I do want to I'll just end it with some Eritrean music for now. Yes, a lot of articles, and these people were literally talking about a lot of articles. So I am gonna end it with some Eritrean music, by the way. Because it's a little too much for me. It's gonna be a good distraction. It's gonna be a very good distraction, in my opinion. Sleep. Oh my god. Bruh. Oh yeah, if you want to join the server and stay in touch, then the server link is in the Discord and is in the community. Oh fuck, my brain is actually literally not working, by the way. Today was extra overwhelming. The server link is in the link tree in my bio. So if you want to stay in contact, the server link is in the link tree in my bio. You can definitely join through there. And then if it's not working, open it in a browser. It's going to help it work as well. Hey, I'm ending the live because it's got too much, so... We're just decompressing for now. We're winding down because it has been really heavy. So that's what's happening right now. We're winding down. Ain't you supposed to go through the Epstein files? I've been going through the Epstein files for almost 4 hours. So I've been going through the Epstein files for almost 4 hours. cute song. I love you, Anne. There's a safe space. No, I haven't. Can you please send him to me? DM it to me, please, that name, because I was trying to look for his name. Yes, either here or on Discord. Oh, it's a forbidden love. Appreciate you too, CJ. A little question, how many of y'all got introduced to like Eritrean stuff through me? How many of y'all got introduced to like Eritrean stuff through like watching my lives? Period. That's amazing. You want to see another really cute song that I've been obsessed with lately? It's a new one, but it's also really cute. It's like basically of a runaway bride who gets chased down by her groom. And if your partner doesn't chase you like this, are they even really interested? Okay, I've been reading the Epstein files for 4 hours, and now we're winding down because I'm not gonna lie, the Epstein files have been really bad. So for that particular reason, this is just winding down, and I'm gonna go back to reading them tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, 11 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. German time. I can't do more than 4 hours a day. I'm sorry. Like, well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm setting a boundary. But for me, like, 4 hours is true. That's the max. And I've noticed up until now, I have not been able to go more than 4 hours because it's too much. how cute the couple is. Oh, if you listen to the lyrics, it's even cuter. The lyrics is basically saying, like, where have you been all my life? Like, you're literally meant for me. You've been written for me. And where have you been all my life? I was been waiting for you. Abenierki, abenierka means like, where have you been? Like, where are you? Where were you? Oh, she said the twin of my heart. That's the name of the song, by the way. They're calling each other my heart's twin. Oh, they're so cute. And she's saying you had tunnel vision. You didn't look left and right. You waited for me. Ah, cute love song. Cute love song, y'all. Cute love song. Oh my god. Is this them again? Are they an actual couple? Oh my god. Hold up. Hold on. Oh my god. Why did that make me giggle? Forehead kisses. Forehead kisses are my weakness, y'all. Forehead kisses are literally my weakness. Oh, look how cute they are. Look how cute. I'm so sorry. This is such a cute family. Look at that little teeny tiny human. Oh my god. Oh, what a cute family. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Ah, the forehead kisses again. Fiorina. just love love. Exactly. Oh, oh. See, this is how easy it is. The person said the difference between you reading these files and another is a night and day. Yes, of course. So when I read the files, I don't joke at all. I take it very, very serious because the matter is incredibly serious, right? So that's why you guys might notice me being like two different people between me reading the files and then me just like chilling and trying to decompress, because the files are deserving of that much seriousness. Like, they need to be handled with care, with empathy. And the reasons why I do that as well, in the back of my mind, is not only with respect to the survivors of these rings, because again, literally a survivor reached out to me, right? So you don't even know how many people who actually are survivors are watching how you handle the files and the stories, right? But it's not only to that, it's also to all the other survivors who are listening, right? So all the survivors of SA, survivors of abuse who are listening. Because if you don't handle it with care, you basically are showing them, all the other survivors, that they're not safe within this place, that they have to hide a part of their experience or a part of their history. And I don't want anybody in my space to ever in any way feel alienated or feel isolated or feel like they have to make any part of themselves or their experiences smaller. So any survivor of the Epstein ring, or just any survivor of any abuse or SA, should feel comfortable enough within my space to understand that these topics and these issues are handled with care, empathy, and compassion. So that's why you might notice that I'm very different when I talk about these files and these topics in comparison to when I talk about things that are like this, you know? There could be joking manner, whatever it is. Somebody said you don't make it salacious. Yes, I don't. Because this isn't drama. This isn't a TMZ website, like, page. This isn't a drama page. This isn't lives or messy TikTok. This isn't, because again, it needs to be handled with care. And people's traumatic experiences should not be deemed like messy TikTok or drama TikTok, right? So for that particular reason, it should not be salacious and shouldn't be anything like that as well. This is so beautiful, by the way. I just wanted to say that. Hey. Y'all see this, by the way? Hold on. You see the little forehead jewelry that they have on? That's also traditional, by the way. Hold on. I'll show you guys this. It's a little secret, by the way. Hold on. That's moi. With that traditional head jewelry too, the headpiece. There we go. That's moi with the headpiece too. See that? So yeah, very, very traditional, by the way, what they're wearing. Oh, by the way, this is why cultural appropriation of braids is like completely messy, because a lot of people think that braids is just like a fashion style when it isn't. This particular braid that she has on, this one, you see, the one where it's half to the back and half to the front, this is called a gamme, right? Which means young woman braid. So this braid is specific to unmarried women. So basically, if a person looks at your hair, they can tell if you're unmarried or married, right? So this hairstyle specifically is for unmarried women. And gamme is the type of hairstyle, but also gamme can be as a term can be applied to a young woman. Right? So you can also call a young unmarried woman a gamme. And you call the hair a gamme as well. Now, this hair is so these women's hair is so important, right? That actually it even inspired James Cameron's new Avatar. Syria. See her hair? She was inspired by Eritrean Tigrinya women. Her hair. See that? It's the same hairstyle. So, yeah. It's very crazy how Hollywood kind of, is inspired by African braiding styles. But in a way, it would have been actually much better if they explicitly stated which cultures they were inspired by, so that people can know that these braiding techniques have names. Because now I'm seeing a lot of people call them avatar braids. They're not avatar braids, okay? Like, our people have been doing these braids for a long time, traditionally. But yeah, so... Hey. The thing that they said, Ashenda, by the way, is also like a religious practice that is done, I think after or before Easter. I forgot when it's done. But basically, all the village girls, they do it in the highlands, right? So all the village girls, they gather up. Is it done before or after Easter? Dang. Hold on, let me check when it's done. Hold on, give me a second. because I don't want to spread misinformation. Hold on. Ashanda is celebrated in August. Wait, is it celebrated in August or September? Because it says here August 16 to August 26. No. Or September. Hold on. Let me check. Sorry, y'all. I don't want to give y'all misinformation. Yeah, so it is August then. No, Ashanda is not in September. It's celebrated in August. So basically, like all the village elders, you love learning about, yeah. Oh, actually, it is celebrated in August, in September. Yeah, it's only for ladies. Yes, it's only for young women also, especially. Okay, so it is after New Year. My bad. So, specifically, it's specifically for young women and girls. And it's kind of like seen as a rite of passage, basically. So the young girls and women, they kind of go home to home. There's like these extra clothing, especially like hide, that you can get from, which are family heirlooms from different families. And then you go home to home, basically dancing Ashanda, because it shows kind of like a new beginning in the new year. And it's girls who in the highlands who do that. So this song is kind of like a celebration of that. And then you go house to house to house to house. You collect a lot of stuff. You collect food. You can collect items. You can collect money. And then after you're done collecting money and food and items, you gather up everything together and then you divide it up equally amongst the girls who participated in Ashanda. And the beauty of that is it teaches you about community, basically, right? So when you're dividing up all of the things equally, when you're going from house to house, dancing from area to area, dancing as well, it just really, really emphasizes community, which is something that is incredibly important within Eritrean culture. Community is very important. Like your community is everything. You even mourn as a community. You dance as a community. You welcome a new harvest as a community. if there's drought and there hasn't been rain, you see a lot of the village women and the elders go out on the street and literally pray until it starts raining as a community, right? So community is very, very important, and it's something that is emphasized within like all of the traditional practices that exist. And some of these traditional practices, by the way, are also indigenous traditional practices. So some of these practices are also pre-Abrahamic practices that were done, that are still incorporated into today. Because you have to understand that Eritrea is a very ancient culture, like ancient area. Another thing that I don't know if I showed you guys is a mourning practice. Mourning as in, hold on. Where is it? This one. So this is a mourning practice that is done by the Tigray community too, which is another ethnic group in Eritrea. And this is a mourning practice, like a grieving process that is also done by the community as a whole. So when somebody passes away within the community, the whole community as a whole comes out and does this dancing that is very a bit like somatic as well. Psychosomatic. Is it called psychosomatic? But they basically all do this together to not only grieve the person who passed away, because the person who passed away has left a void in the whole community, not only in the family, but also to show the family that they are not grieving on their own, but instead that the whole community is grieving with them. Hold on. So if you see here, this is a grieving practice that is being done, like a grieving ceremony with the whole, and this is something that is done as a community with the whole family to show that they're not alone, but that the whole community is grieving the void. And I think it's just very beautiful because yes, the movement is very good for processing grief. See how beautiful this is? Ugh. This is mourning the dead. It's a mourning dance. It's not annual. It's something the community organizes for somebody who died in the community. So if somebody died in the community, it's organized. And this is also, hold on. I would argue like Ashenda is very, the one that I showed prior to the morning dance is kind of like a coming of age dance. No, this is not Ethiopia, this is Eritrea. And then we also have dances that are like like animal dances, right? So this is a dance that emulates the peacock. Y'all know that Sudanese dance, the one with the neck dance? You guys know that it's not only a Sudanese dance, but also an Eritrean one, right? So the neck dance, you guys know the one that's like really big? This one? See that? So this is a dance that is really big for the Beja people. It's a Beja neck dance. And a lot of people think it's just a Sudanese dance. When it's not, it's also an Eritrean one. Really beautiful dance, by the way. They're called the Beja people. Right? And so it's been going really viral, yeah. So this is a song from that same... No, Iskista is Ethiopian, specifically. Eritreans don't do Iskista. So this is that same ethnic group, and this is a dance that emulates a peacock. So the girls, their dance movements are emulating a peacock, but it's from that same ethnic group. By the way, the reason as to why there are going to be dances that are inspired by animals, there's going to be seasonal traditional dancing, is because Eritreans, as indigenous people, are very, very connected to the land, right? So They're connected to the land. Everything they do is going to come from the land. It's going to be about honoring the land, about in a community honoring the land, right? For example, there are these waterfalls that all Eritreans believe in. That's called Mait Olot, right? Or Mait Olot, depending on what your dialect is. But these waterfalls basically, and anytime anybody is sick and you go and bathe in these like bodies of water. And this is something, by the way, that is done even by diasporan Eritreans. So even if it's a person who was not born and raised in Eritrea, if they get sick, they are told, go back home and bathe in that water. And they're literally flown back home. I know so many people who had different types of like illnesses or diseases or whatever it is. While they were getting their medication, they were recommended to go back home. My father was one of those people because my father was very ill. My father had gotten really ill before his passing, right? So he was also encouraged to go back home, and that's what he did. He went back home to basically bathe in these bodies of water. And there's a belief that they have healing properties. If you bathe in them, there's healing properties. So a lot of even diasporans go back to the land of their ancestors to bathe in them. And this is also a pre-Abrahamic practice, by the way. So it shows you how the people still held on to their cultural practices from old times. And there's a lot of respect for the land and the animals who are on the land. It's interesting that you said motherland. This is another little thing. So my land in Tigrinya, which is one of the Eritrean languages, my land means Ade. But my mother also means Ade. So the word that is used for my land and my mother is very similar. My land means Ade. My mother is Ade. So without the A, right? So it's very interesting. And I personally think that they're very, very similar. Because, motherland. Anyways, the reason as to why I highly emphasize bringing up my culture is because Eritreans went through a 30-year genocide where we lost about 20% of our population. Very brutal genocide. And these are the different cultural practices that I'm showing you guys, the different cultures that I'm showing you guys are the cultures that people preserved even during a genocide, right? So if my people were able to preserve these cultural practices and the languages even while being genocided, who am I not to preserve them when I have the privilege of not having gone through a genocide, and being in the diaspora, basically, right? And also, I show you guys the beauty of the cultures to show you the beauty of the cultures that people were willing to die for, right? So I was talking to a friend about this the other day. Homeland is such an interesting concept. It's one word that means so much to so many different people. Homeland. What is your homeland? The fact that people are willing to die and sacrifice their lives for their homeland means that it is one word that means everything to people, right? Your homeland is your roots. Your homeland is resistance. Your homeland embraces you even if other people don't see you. Regardless if other people see you or they don't see you, your homeland still chooses to embrace you. It still chooses to open its arms to you. And I believe that your people, your ancestors, or your people in general, tend to somehow always help you find your way back home. Because regardless of where you go, your homeland never leaves you. It's always inside of you, right? So, by the way, I was never born in Eritrea. I'm not a person who was born in Eritrea, by the way. And that's why it's so fascinating. I was never born in Eritrea, and yet for some reason, my homeland is still implanted in my heart. It's crazy. That's how powerful homeland is, you know? Salam Shabi Hawe. So this is precisely why I highlight these different cultural practices to kind of show you that these were the cultures that people were willing to die for. That these were the cultures that people were willing to preserve. And if they were willing to preserve it, then we should also be willing to preserve it. Right? Regardless of what happens, we should also be willing to preserve it. So that's why that's precisely why I show you these different cultures. Also, because Eritrea is much more than just the negatives. A lot of times people associate like negative stuff to Eritrea. I just want to show y'all, Eritrea is much more than the negatives, you know? There's so much beauty to this country, to this identity, that is not only negative. It's not only pain or trauma or whatever it is, you know? So, because who are a people without an identity? A people without an identity are a people not worth fighting for or remembering or grieving. Also, I've just noticed we hit 400k likes. Excuse me? Excuse me. 400k likes. Are you serious? Are you guys serious? Help. W chat. W chat. W chat. Oh my god, I love y'all. The amount of support. Ugh. W chat, bro. W community. This is precisely why I love my community, by the way. You guys are so supportive. You're the sweetest. You're generous. 100% amazing. W chat. Anyways, I love y'all so much. W, you guys, do something very nice for yourselves. And also W mod. Just wanted to say, W mods. W Ann. She kept the house down. She held it down today. Okay? So, love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to be ending my live now. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. German time. Mwah. Love y'all so much. I will see y'all tomorrow with the Epstein files. We're going to be dealing with the Epstein files tomorrow. Do something nice for yourselves for today. It's a lot of work.
I have to see that. I will not be able to live with myself knowing that